2023年。
The train is still stuck and the snow continues to fall. I should have taken an airplane. Well, I must make the best of it and join the other passengers for breakfast.
前往餐车厢，金字图。OK。我们现在在我们自己的包厢里面。
The train still hasn't left. The finest of curling irons for the moustache.
哦，这是卷须棒，我想这是什么东西
？Wax to preserve the perfect symmetry of the moustache. The moustache comb
全部都是打理胡子的用品。好，走出去。餐车厢，它的界面开关怎么有点慢啊？
Good morning, Monsieur Michel.
Good morning, sir. Please enjoy our special breakfast in our restaurant.
这边是酒吧车厢。
This delay is intolerable.
再往前。
My daughter said it would be the easiest way in the world. Just.
Good morning, madam. The snow is a predicament, is it not?
I am Russian. Snow is no stranger to me.
Ah, the accent. Would it be St. Petersburg?
You are very perceptive. Monsieur Poirot, is it not?
And may I take it I have the honor of addressing Princess Natalia Dragomirov?
We dispense with the old titles these days. My husband, all of my past, was taken from me by these Stalinists. When they were gone, I became director of the St. Petersburg Museum of Antiquities to restore and preserve what I can of my country's history.
Still, the delay must be vexing.
If I must be late for my appointments, then they will wait.
I know that I would certainly wait, madame. It has been my extreme pleasure to make your acquaintance, madame.
Au revoir, Monsieur Poirot.
A beautiful piano. What a luxury. Pity there's no one to play it. Mademoiselle, you are not concerned about the train stopping?
What can one do?
Indeed, this does not make the train move. You have great strength to remain calm at a time like this.
I know one far, far stronger than I.
And that is?
Well, that old lady, for instance. You have probably noticed her. She just has to lift her little finger and ask for something in a polite voice, and the whole train runs.
It runs also for my friend Monsieur Bouc. But that is because he is a director of the line, not because he has a masterful character.
You don't have to have a strong will when you have power. But I suspect I did not need to tell you that, Mr.
Poirot.
Mr. Poirot.
Good morning, Mr. Fauchet. You have early customers, I see.
Yes, I am stuck serving here as well at breakfast. Everyone is impatient. They keep complaining that the train is not moving, as if I could get out and push it.
It's too early for me to order a boxcar. That is the appropriate drink, I believe.
A gin triple sec, lemon and grenadine mix. A drink for a train indeed.
But not perhaps for my breakfast. I think I will settle for an omelette.
Good luck, sir. Miss Nielsen is helping to serve in the dining car.
The Orient Express bar is certainly well stocked.
WC. 没什么能用的。好，餐车。
How long are we expected to be stranded here?
It won't do much good complaining to me. That fellow there with the moustache, he may know something.
Excusez-moi, sir.
Yes?
Monsieur Bouc asks for you to join him in compartment 203.
Look here, Poirot. Can you tell us anything?
I can tell you the snow, it will not move aside on its own.
Of course, but you obviously have some influence with Bouc.
I am going to see him now. I will ask him if he has any information.
我还没吃东西呀、好，得闯进厨房里。嘿嘿，你这什么东西？这是什么？金胡子，拿走。
Another delightful trophy for my collection.
可以拿一瓶吗？开了不让我关，那不太好吧？那要去203。
Ah, my good friend. Come in. We have need of you.
What has occurred?
A passenger lies dead in his bed. Stabbed.
A passenger? Which passenger?
In there. He's an American. A man called Ratchet. It was his valet masterman who was worried that Mr. Ratchet was not awake yet. Pierre Michel, the conductor, decided to break in and found the body.
I see. Well, my friend, I think it is best not to touch anything and wait for the police to arrive.
Oh, I tried to call the police, but there is no cell tower for many kilometers. We could be stuck in the snow for hours. The murderer is with us. On the train, now! The sooner we catch him, the sooner we'll be out of danger. Dr. Constantine is already examining the body.
Mon ami, this is not a missing train ticket. We must follow procedure. We must wait for the police to secure the crime scene.
Please, Poirot. I will take full responsibility.
Book, you ask. Well, if we cannot contact the outside world, then... Oh, you are going to drive me crazy. In truth, this problem intrigues me. I was reflecting not half an hour ago that many hours of boredom lay ahead whilst we are stuck here. And now, a problem lies ready to my hand.
You accept, then?
C'est entendu. You place the matter in my hands.
人物选单更新。好，分析犯罪现场。
Mr. Poirot, I am Dr. Constantine.
Forgive me, Doctor. You are a medical examiner?
No, but I have assisted in post-mortems at Nairobi Hospital, where I am a teaching fellow.
I am familiar with your excellent institution.
I do not intend to perform a full autopsy, but a preliminary examination should be of some use.
Of course. May I have a look? Then we can compare notes.
Please, if you need any help, I won't be far away.
怎么是分析他？分析这个人物来加强对他的了解。摩洛哥、比利时、肯亚，职业、医生、年龄，这个怎么推算出来？哦，大概吧，这差距有点大。我可以重播他说过的话。所以他说他在奈罗比医院，那他应该是肯亚人，医生。看起来啦，还宽上总不可能到89岁吧？人才47。
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
好，要求医生的不在场证明。我应该先看一下死者的状况才对。放大。哦， 戳了好几刀。
As you see, the victim has been stabbed many times. Several alone would have been fatal.
Yes, I agree. An attack most savage.
I will, of course, prepare a complete report on my findings.
Thank you. I'll take photos. The watch is broken. The hands are stopped at 1:15 a.m. One would expect that to be the time when the attack occurred.
点15分，手表停止。哎，那里有枪哦。
This phone was deliberately smashed.
手机被破坏掉了。我靠那么近才看不到。OK。
Last night, Monsieur Ratchet said he takes precautions. I see now what he meant. He knew he was in danger and wanted to be ready. Yet it was no use to him. I will leave it here for the police.
还有什么地方没看到吗？杯子。
I'm sure I will find some interesting things inside.
杯子是有加了什么东西在里面吗？感觉杯底好像有些什么。还有哪边要看的吗？哦，这个是什么？这什么东西
Could it belong to Ratchet?
香蕉。地上东西好多。
A handkerchief. There's a letter H embroidered on it.
写了 H 的手帕。我应该都看完了哦。OK。分析犯罪现场。哦，这边有提示诶，还有17个东西可以检查。好，我们来看一下。
Where can the killer have gone? The chain lock is broken. Monsieur Michel told me that he broke the chain on the door to get into the room.
凶手是怎么离开房间的？那所以发现尸体的人是破坏门锁进来的。那凶手又是怎么离开的呢？在不破坏门锁，然后又可以上锁的状态下。
A box of sleeping pills.
安眠药。保险柜。锁起来了。需要密码。行李箱。
Expensive clothing, recently laundered.
为什么需要这么多条皮带？爱丽丝走在开了1000朵花的森林里，她摘下了10朵花做成花束，突然间花束变成一只蝴蝶，地上的花朵开始倍增，变成原来的2倍之多。爱丽丝来到一扇门前，门问她：如果你想离开这座森林，你必须告诉我森林里还剩下几朵花。2倍之多，这是密码吧？我们来解解看。保险箱1980，有了。钱
Not very surprising.
哦，我还以为是有夹什么东西在中间。
Unusual letter this.
你将为你伤害过的每一个人承受同样的痛苦，死亡将近，我们有仇必报。 直接写了 we， 而且每一个字的笔迹都长得不太一样哦，所以就是大家一起写的，好几个人一起写的。
Ratchet had an appointment he will never keep. A meeting place on the back of a postcard. Someone with the initials A.W.
OK， 保险柜看完，到什么地方？窗户。
The snow is falling only lightly this morning. The murderer would have left tracks in the snow if he had jumped out the window.
外面也没有看到足迹。
This door communicates with compartment 204. The latch is open on this side.
哦，连起来的包厢。那他会从这边离开吗？这一侧的门锁是开着的，那表示他有可能是从这边走出去的。啊，诶，凶手离开的方式，哦，我们可以探讨了。不过我们好像还可以跟医生聊聊天哦，聊一下吧。
I'm sorry, Doctor, but I must question you.
Of course. I must be considered under suspicion like everyone else.
May I know your movements last night?
I share compartment 101 with Mr. Book. He would not stop talking about his beloved train. I listened to him for hours talking about his Orient Express.
My friend Book will no doubt confirm this.
聊着聊着，然后真的在列车上发生了。
Did you know the victim?
Not at all. I noticed him last night at dinner, but I did not pay much attention.
Did you touch anything in here this morning?
I checked for a pulse. There was none. Rigor mortis had commenced. The body was cool to the touch. I touched nothing else.
What can you tell me about the victim?
He died from multiple stab wounds of varying angles and depth. More than one would have been fatal. I would place the time of death roughly between midnight and 2 a.m. With more time, I hope I can be more precise.
I assume the open window complicates matters.
Indeed. Conditions are not perfect.
OK， 好，都讲
Thank you
完
for
了。
your help, Doctor.
我觉得盘问其实蛮简洁利落的哈，不会有什么太多废话。哦，还有垃圾桶。猫咪
I wonder what could be in this photo.
看起来是猫。我可以把它拼凑起来吗？好，看一下，分析犯罪现场，还有一件物品没有检查到。
I shouldn't leave until I have finished inspecting the crime scene.
什么东西没检查？
Not exactly the reading material one would expect of a man like Ratchet.
我刚刚看了，然后没有点。有兔子。好，应该都看完了吧？喂，还是16。啊，应该是要把撕碎的照片拼凑起来吧？这可以旋转吗？旋转。自带吸。
Oh, Daisy. Interesting. That's the right answer.
哦，所以搜索完了，有17件物品。 哦，可以出去了
I
吗？
shouldn't leave until I have finished inspecting.
所以我在这边，来看看，所以要回顾事件。枕头下藏了一把枪，手表停止的时间凌晨1点15分。杯子里有残留粉末，保险箱里有威胁信，卧室里有安眠药。哦，是要把两个拼凑在一起。安眠药搭配杯子，在被杀那一晚服下安眠药，然后他收到威胁信，所以留了一把枪预备着，警戒状态。这样吗？
I must admit I'm not right this time.
警戒又喝安眠药，好像有点矛盾哦。
I can't imagine Ratchet taking a sleeping pill if he feared for his life. That was easy.
雷契特的员工，雷契特的手下的2个人是谁？等一下，我看一下，我们好像有一些资讯，没有，什么资讯都没有。会是我们在餐车遇到的那2个人吗？也应该不对啊，如果是的话，他们不可能那么悠哉待在餐车，就是我们还没见过的人。好，那应该可以去找人了。
I shouldn't leave until I have finished inspecting the crime scene.
我还不能走吗？他叫我在那边选呢。手下那一定不是列车的人啊。然后我去见过的那2位女士也不是。前面对话好像有提到哦，但我没有仔细听。嘿嘿。哦，右边还有一个可以分析的，凶手怎么逃离的？连通的门可以通到隔壁，门栓没有锁上。哦，米歇尔，所以米歇尔先生把门撞开，铰链坏掉了，门链了，链。OK， 再来，窗户虽然是开的，可是外面没有留下脚印。
So, the murderer must have exited through Madame Hubbard's room. Et voilà.
Voilà. 看到凶手逃离的目击者，隔壁的房客。赫伯德太太。还有一个，会是谁？哪2个人可能看到凶手离开房间
At the moment, I'm counting on you to finish your analysis.
I'll have a more detailed report for you as soon as I can.
他是把几个分析完，然后现在出去看一下，认识一下其他人。
Did you find anything out?
It's a bit early for the handcuffs, my friend, even for Hercule Poirot. Do not worry, mon ami. I believe our culprit has no plans to strike again. Monsieur Ratchet was the target. Of that I am convinced. Tell me, Book, how did you spend last night?
This is a joke, I hope. Don't you trust your old friend?
My friend, calm yourself. I must hear your story in order to corroborate other accounts.
Ah, naturally. Let me see. I went to my compartment after dinner. Dr. Constantine was already there. We talked about his career. He's a Cambridge man, you know. After university, he returned to his country and has done much good there. He was so interested in the Orient Express. I told him all the anecdotes I know. I'm not certain when we fell asleep, but it was very late.
跟医生说的好像不太一样哦。
Here is what I have found out. Monsieur Ratchet was stabbed many times. I also found threatening letters in his safe. He had a loaded gun under his pillow, so he was on guard, ready to defend himself. However, there was an empty glass with white residue at the bottom. I suspect a barbiturate. Perhaps he was forced to take it. In any case, I am certain he was unconscious, unable to defend himself. I also found several other items at the crime scene, possibly related to the murder. They must be investigated.
By all means, Poirot. As fast as you can.
I also found liquid for an electronic cigarette, but I could not find a vape. This might belong to the murderer.
This criminal is an amateur.
I need a list of the passengers with their compartment numbers.
Pierre Michel will have it.
I must interview the rest of the passengers and the staff.
I'll be in the bar car if you need me. We are hours late. Soon I hope help will arrive.
Bonjour, Monsieur Michel. I expect Monsieur Ratchet's death must be very unsettling for you.
I have been an Orient Express wagon lead conductor for over 15 years. Nothing like this has ever happened before on one of my trains.
Yes, indeed, it is a shocking occurrence. Can you provide me with a listing of the passengers and their rooms, please?
Yes, certainly.
有了名单，怎么字叠在一起？
Are you a smoker?
Indeed.
Do you smoke e-cigarettes?
No, tobacco only.
下面4个是乘务员，那我们要找204号房，来问一下隔壁房间的。
Good morning, madam. I am Hercule Poirot.
Caroline Hubbard. What can I do for you, Mr. Poirot?
I am the bearer of unfortunate news.
It's obvious with all the commotion that something has happened.
Madame Hubbard, I am afraid your neighbor, Monsieur Ratchet, was murdered last night.
Oh my God! I knew it! I knew it!
I would like to ask you some questions, but first, may I inspect your room?
Of course, yes, you must. The American embassy in Istanbul. I told her she'd never find a husband there. Since I wanted to see Paris on my way home, she told me I should take this high-class train. I can't wait to see Paris. It looks beautiful in the movies, but it couldn't be more beautiful than Schenectady in the good old US of A. That's where I'm living now. I was visiting my daughter. She works at the American...
哦，看来是美国人。然后他说他女儿已经在工作了。
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
好，大概认识完了。哦，金胡子。
Ha ha! Golden mustache. Here is a jacket button. It bears the logo of the Orient Express.
哦，列车的纽扣，就是列车制服上的纽扣吗？
The luxury of the Orient Express is present in every detail.
这里看起来没什么东西。
This door connects to Monsieur Ratchet's compartment. It was latched on this side.
是上锁的，可是这间房间一直有人进出，所以现在看到上锁也合理啊。还是要问话吗？今天晚上
Please tell me about last night.
The murderer was right here in my compartment. I woke up. All in the dark it was. I was just so scared I couldn't scream. I pressed the call button. I pressed and pressed. I heard footsteps running in the corridor, then a knock on my door. Come in, I screamed. And I switched on the lights at the same time. And would you believe it? There wasn't a soul there.
You think he went back into the other compartment?
How do I know where he went? I had my eyes shut tight. The conductor came in. I told the man what had happened, and he didn't seem to believe me. I asked him to search the room. but he found nothing. I told the conductor to look at the door between the compartments, and sure enough, it wasn't bolted. Well, I soon saw to that. I told him to bolt it, then and there.
好，我先问下一个。
How is it you didn't bolt the door between the two compartments?
But I had. Well, as a matter of fact, I asked that Swedish lady, Olsen, Greta, if it was bolted, and she said it was.
How was it you could not see for yourself?
I was already in bed, and my toiletry bag was hanging on the hook of the door. I couldn't see the latch from where I was.
What time was it when you asked her to do this for you?
Oh, it must have been around 10:30 or 10:45 p.m. She'd come along to see if I had an aspirin. But instead of opening my door, she opened Mr. Ratchet's door by mistake. He said something quite rude, like, "Not a chance, lady, you're too old." It shocked her. She came in. I told her where to find the aspirin, and she got it out of my toiletry bag. Poor girl, she didn't have a good night.
The same could be said for Monsieur Ratchet. It appears Mademoiselle Olsen may be the last person to see Ratchet alive.
他说他看到黑影，怀疑是凶手闯进他的包厢，然后他要赶快按呼叫铃，请人进来。既然我这样回想过去，居然有连通门的话，而且死者那边的门锁是开的，为什么他们起初进门的时候不直接先试着从这一侧的包厢去开门，而是直接把门撞开呢？
Is this your handkerchief?
No, not at all.
Yet it is embroidered with an initial H, like your name.
I don't care. It's not mine, and I would certainly never buy something so impractical as that frilly thing.
Are you a smoker?
No, definitely not. Filthy habit.
I found a jacket button on your table. It looks like it belongs to a train employee. The button bears the logo of the Orient Express.
Well, of course the conductor came in last night, but he didn't go near that table.
Still, it's a safe bet that it belongs to the conductor. I'll check his jacket later, to be sure. I have not finished inspecting your room, if you don't mind.
还没检查完吗？这边已经有帮我们把房号整理好了，看过名单就可以知道了。他说的那一位女士是这一位104号房的格雷塔·奥尔森。好，看一下，他说挂在。
Let's see if Mrs. Hubbard was telling the truth about the latch of the connecting door.
拿下来。
This hook is probably where Mrs. Hubbard hung her toiletry bag.
没东西啊。
This hook is probably where.
这个才是盥洗袋它是放在洗手台的下面。
I can see the latch very well from here, even with the toiletry bag attached. I'll have to clear that up with Mrs. Hubbard.
来问一问。
Mrs. Hubbard, you told me that the door connecting the two compartments was closed, correct?
Yes, it was, as I told you. I was already in bed and my toiletry bag was hanging on the hook of the door. I couldn't see the latch from where I was. That's why I asked Miss Olsen to check if it was closed.
当面质问，以下哪一句在说谎？当时看不到。
Are you sure everything you've told me is accurate, Madame Hubbard?
Of course. I have an excellent memory.
人取证明他在说谎的关键，看见门
Mrs.
窗。
Hubbard, I tested putting your toiletry bag on the door hook as you told me. From your bed, you can easily see the latch on the door. The toiletry bag does not hide the latch at all.
Are you saying I'm lying? It may have been stuck somehow in a different position. or I may not have seen it in the darkness. Or I didn't think to look, you irritating man.
Details matter, madame. A man has been most savagely murdered. You will excuse me if I attempt to separate the truth from the false.
Forget my toiletry bag and focus on who entered my compartment. Probably after killing Mr. Ratchet.
Madame Hubbard is a force to be reckoned with, but I suspect I'm not done with her.
OK， 质问完了。
Thank you for your assistance, madame.
好，让他矢口否认，找了很多借口，但在那么紧急的情况下，当然要问的仔细一点呢。怎么可以容忍不小心看错这种事呢？好，再来去找其他人问话吧，认识一下其他乘客。不过要看一下列车长的扣子。
I found a button from an Orient Express staff jacket. Did you lose one by any chance?
No, monsieur. As you can see, I have all my buttons. It is not mine.
不是他。先把头等舱都逛一逛好了。那个202，里面没有人。哦，这是我的房间呢。201不能进去，二等舱。为什么差那么多啊？201、202这么小间，然后03、04、05超大间的，豪华程度差很多哦。205不能出去，不是出去啊，不能进去。背景音乐怎么那么的惬意？再来是二等舱、二等车厢103，只有这间可以互动。
Monsieur Edward Masterman, I believe. May I ask you some questions?
I can barely talk. I have a terrible toothache.
We have a doctor on board the train. Perhaps...
I do not need a doctor. I use essential oils. If you can find my flask of clove oil in my box, I would be grateful.
Fine, if you insist. I will help you.
精油可以治牙痛啊。这什么意思？
By the smell, I think that the jojoba oil spilled on the other bottles, leaving their labels illegible. I must find another way to find which one is Masterman's toothache remedy.
而荷巴有18毫升。
The weighing scale is soaked in jojoba oil. It's unusable. This old
要这么传统吗？
will do the job.
就是现代的好，就是比较是吧？比较出来。
First, arrange the vials from the lightest to the heaviest.
比大小。
Now that I know the order, I think that I can easily guess which one is the clove oil.
这边5罐，但是上面写了6个东西。
I don't think this is the remedy. And here is Monsieur Masterman's remedy. Here is your remedy. I hope it will help.
Thank you very much, sir. Well.
他要的是丁香，然后撒出来是荷巴油了。
I'm ready to answer your questions.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's valet?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Were you told that your employer was murdered?
Yes, sir. A very shocking occurrence.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's valet?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Were you told that your employer was murdered?
Yes, sir. A very shocking occurrence.
My little gray cells did not let me down. At what hour did you last see Monsieur Ratchet?
It must have been around 9 p.m., sir. That or a little after. I went to bed around 10:30 p.m., same as the person who shares my room, Mr. Foscarelli. He almost immediately began snoring.
What did you do then?
I read, sir, and I spent a while soothing my toothache with clove oil and listening to the snoring.
Did you hear anything during the night?
Yes, my roommate's snoring.
Are you a smoker?
Yes, sir. I have a cigarette now and then to relax.
Tell me about your employer, Monsieur Ratchet.
I've been working for him for 9 months. I should not wish to speak ill of the dead, but he was not a gentleman, sir.
Did you know that he had enemies?
Yes, sir. I heard him discussing some threatening letters, sir, with Mr. McQueen.
Did he mention these letters to you?
He had been reading a letter when I came in. He asked me if I was the one who put it in his compartment. I told him that I had done no such thing, and he should report it to the police at the next station.
How did he respond?
He laughed, sir.
You're joking.
I do not joke, sir.
Forgive me, I can see you do not. Was he taking sleeping pills?
Always when traveling by train, sir. He said he couldn't sleep otherwise. Last night he asked me to give him 2. I did so, along with a glass of water. He dissolved them in the water.
Did you see him drink the water?
No, sir. I left right after I gave him the pills.
Was Monsieur Ratchet a smoker?
No. He finds smokers disgusting.
Can you tell me again why you gave sleeping pills to Monsieur Ratchet?
Yes, I gave him the pills because when he takes the train, he has trouble sleeping. The letter must have worried him. He specifically asked me to prepare the sleeping pills. I didn't see him drink the water with the pills in it.
当面质问，以下哪一句是在说谎？那封信令他忧心忡忡，但你刚刚说他笑了。
I see nothing to prove he's lying.
不是吗？对，他是觉得他 boss 表面笑笑，其实心里很担心。
I need some hard evidence to prove he's lying.
特别准备安眠药，没看到他喝加了药的水。
Monsieur, I believe you are not telling me the truth.
What? How can you say that?
He received threatening letters. One, it seems, last night. Did you know he had a gun under his pillow? And even asked for my help to watch over him? I find it strange that he asked you for sleeping pills when he was afraid for his life and prepared to defend himself.
I'm sure I don't know. Maybe to calm his nerves, maybe out of habit.
It makes no sense.
Wait, please. Isn't it possible that Mr. Ratchet asked me to prepare the pills, but didn't plan to drink them for some reason?
It is possible. But I am a student of character, monsieur, and the Monsieur Ratchet you describe is not the man I met.
If you'll excuse me, my toothache is getting worse again.
I'm afraid this time you must prepare your own clove oil.
好，问完了，再去找其他人。102号房。
I believe I am addressing Monsieur Hector McQueen.
Guilty as charged.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, sorry. Just an expression. My father used to say it.
You must have had an interesting childhood. I am Hercule Poirot.
No need to be modest. You're a detective.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's secretary?
I am Mr. Ratchet's secretary. Just over a year. I mainly take care of translating certain texts for him. Mr. Ratchet only speaks English.
Prepare yourself for a shock. Your employer, Monsieur Ratchet, is dead.
So they got him after all.
What do you mean? You are assuming he was murdered?
I know he had enemies.
What can you tell me about Monsieur Ratchet?
He was American. He was an antiques dealer. I don't know much more. Mr. Ratchet never talked about himself or his life. But I think Ratchet wasn't his real name. And he left the United States to run away from something. Or someone.
Yes?
He started getting letters. threatening letters.
Do you still have them?
I have one.
Did you know that Monsieur Ratchet had asked for my help?
Asked you? No, I didn't know.
He knew he was in danger. When did you last see him?
Last night around 10 o'clock, I should say.
Did you like your employer, Monsieur McQueen?
No, I did not. He was, I'm sure, a cruel and dangerous man.
Can you tell me your movements last night?
I went back to my compartment. I read a little. In Belgrade, I went out onto the platform to smoke, but it was cold. I quickly went back in. I then went to Mr. Ratchet's compartment to take some dictation for him. I left around 10 o'clock. I saw Captain Arbuthnot. We ended up chatting in my compartment. Then we went out on the platform to quickly stretch our legs at Vinkovsky. He left around 2 o'clock.
Thank you. I will need to check Monsieur McQueen's story with Captain Arbuthnot. I found a diary in Monsieur Ratchet's safe. Did you know about it?
I kept a business appointment book, but I know he had a personal diary as well. That looks like it.
Are you a smoker?
Yes, I smoke cigarettes. I've tried to quit, but no luck.
Can you give me this letter, please?
Of course. Here it is.
Mm. 就这样，好简短。
Was Monsieur Ratchet a smoker?
No, he hated the smell of smoke.
好，所以我们知道了麦奎恩跟马斯特曼是死者的员工。这边我们可以来整理一下。
That's the right answer.
接着往另一头走。 酒吧车厢，这几个不能够互动，这个也不行。这前面有对话过了。
So, Poirot, I hope you are progressing in your investigation.
I have not finished yet, but it is progressing, yes. I still have many questions that must be answered. I will report to you as soon as I can.
那我们来到餐厅这边看看。咦，餐厅这边都没人啊，所以我们就要来选喽。看到凶手逃离的目击者，哪2个人有可能看到凶手离开房间？一个是赫伯的太太嘛，然后。 米歇尔先生在赫伯的太太按呼叫铃的时候是先赶到的，对不对？
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
好，所以衍生出来了，向米歇尔问话。
I need at the moment. I'm counting on you to finish your analysis.
I'll have a more detailed report for you as soon as I can.
哦，所以已经问完话了吗？没有啊，还是要再去找他一次。
Monsieur Michel, I must ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
I will do everything I can to help.
First of all, tell me about yourself.
Very well. My name, as you know, is Pierre Michel. I am from Calais. I've been with the company for over 15 years.
Thank you.
分析。
A few questions if you don't mind.
I will do everything I can to help.
First of all, tell me about yourself.
Very well. My name, as you know, is Pierre Michel. I am from Calais. I've been with...
Et voilà.
Voilà.
I would like to reconstruct with your help the events of last night. Monsieur Ratchet retired to bed. When?
Almost immediately after dinner, sir. Actually, before we left Belgrade.
Did anybody go into his compartment after that?
His valet, monsieur. Monsieur Masterman. And then his secretary, the young American gentleman. Monsieur McQueen.
And that is the last time you saw or heard of him?
No, monsieur. You forget that Monsieur Ratchet rang his bell around 12:40 a.m., soon after we had stopped. I knocked at the door, but he called out in French, "Ce n'est rien, je me suis trompé." I then left to answer another bell that had just rung.
Where were you at 1:15 a.m.?
I was sitting on my little seat at the end of the car, facing up the corridor.
Are you sure?
I left a little after 1 a.m. to speak about the snow with my colleague Jean in the bar car. I came back later. There was a call. I remember speaking to you.
Indeed, I remember. Carry on.
It was the American lady, Madame Hobart. She thought she saw a man in her compartment. Then, around 1:50 a.m., I made the bed for Monsieur Ratchet's secretary, Monsieur McQueen. He had spent the evening talking with the English Captain Arbuthnot. At 2 a.m., I returned to my place and stayed there until dawn.
哦，好多时间哦。
What
这
is
不
the
做
last
笔记哪记
station
得
where
哪
we
记得
stopped?
了？
Winkowski.
Could someone have come on board?
Possibly. I was very busy. Owing to the weather, we were a few minutes late. We left at 12:10 a.m.
OK， 还原米歇尔先生的活动。我这边也写时间呢，午夜凌晨。和佛雪先生一起动身前往酒吧车厢聊天，然后后来有铺床，那上面有几个要来。我们从文科威离开的时候是在12点10分，我还真的要做笔记耶，直到早上，所以这放最后一个。月台上抽烟，然后离站。这里的话，雷契特按铃召唤，再来是赫伯德太太也按铃。还好啦，不用特别记几点几分，到记得顺序就行了。它只有凌晨1点5分到1点20分，以及凌晨1点50到2点曾经离开他的岗位。凶手避开了米歇尔先生。事发的时间大概是在1点15分，那这个时候刚好米歇尔先生不在。
While Monsieur Michel was chatting with Monsieur Fauchet in the bar car between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., the murderer could have escaped Ratchet's room without being seen. My little gray cells did not let me down.
所以导出了2个人的嫌疑，这样怎么样？有还是没有？直觉让你能推敲属于自己的结论，还可以靠直觉。这里还有一个雷契特跟米歇尔先生说话。他在案发当晚向米歇尔说了一句法语，可是他的秘书说他只会讲英文，有矛盾的地方。就是要把这2个拼在一起吗？哦，所以说跟米歇尔说话的人不是雷契特，而是一个会讲法语的人。凌晨12点37分，雷契特房间有人按铃召唤米歇尔先生。凶手假装。
The murderer may have impersonated Ratchet by calling Monsieur Michel to make it seem that Ratchet was still alive at 12:37 a.m. That was easy.
所以，死者遇害的时间可能会更早哦。 然后现场已经有被他设计过了，让大家以为是在1点15分的时候遇害。案发之夜的假设，服下安眠药，凶手在他房里谋杀他，并等待米歇尔先生不在走廊时趁机逃离。最有可能的假设是什么？3选1啊！用枪将他击毙，这就不对了。雷契特服下安眠药，凶手进入他房间，用刀捅他。他按铃召唤米歇尔先生，假装雷契特还活着，开窗逃离，但火车困在雪地中。他等米歇尔先生休息时再离开房间。然后再来第3个，雷契特服下安眠药，凶手进入雷契特房间，用刀捅他，他按铃召唤，假装雷契特还活着，开窗逃离。那应该是第2个。
Et voilà.
好，所以这边导出了奈奎恩先生的嫌疑，跟马斯特曼先生的嫌疑。还有一个再回来跟布克说话。
So, my friend, have you found our killer?
Not yet, but I will tell you what I have learned.
Please.
Our assassin could have gotten on the train at Vinkovsky disguised as a conductor, entered Ratchet's room and killed him. Then he walked out through Madame Hubbard's connecting door, where he lost a button from his jacket. He had to wait for Monsieur Michel to be absent. He waited too long. The train had left the station.
He was trapped aboard.
Indeed. He had opened the window to make it look that he'd escaped that way. However, if he waited until the train stopped again due to snow, his footprints would have been found.
The murderer is still among us, on the train.
There's a problem with the second-class toilets.
What now?
All morning passengers have been complaining that the door is locked, so I went to check. I knocked, but no one answered. I didn't think I should open it without speaking to you first.
You did well, Monsieur Michel. Lead the way.
I used my master key.
But who is she? Is she alive?
She is breathing.
Then if she isn't dead, isn't she our murderer?
That, my friend, is what we must find out.
洗手间里的乘客，这个他跟凶案有关吗？还是刚好昏倒在里面
？Miss, can you hear me?
可是列车长都不认识他，所以
Her pulse is strong.
他是
There
原
is
本
no
就
sign of physical violence.
上车
This
乘客
woman
吗
is sleeping very soundly.
这是车票。
The ticket reads Joanna Locke, traveling in compartment 105. This woman is sound asleep. Given her location, I would say she has been drugged and deposited here.
Well, at least it's not another murder on my train.
The train is, of course, full.
Monsieur, the list I gave you indicates that Hildegard Schmidt shares her compartment.
I will want to talk to her later. For now, we will concentrate on this mysterious young lady. Let's return her to her more comfortable bed.
Good idea. Pierre, locate this woman's room and fetch the doctor.
Yes, sir.
I will question her when she wakes up.
Please, let me know what you learn.
Mademoiselle Locke's compartment is 105. I suggest we return her to her more comfortable bed.
Yes, hopefully she will awaken soon.
Hey, 我前面一个调查还没有做总结，这边又蹦出另外一件事情。
A cup of tea with white residue at the bottom.
啊？ 有人在他杯子里下药吗？我只是直接翻人家的行李来看的。密码锁。诶，这个是
A briefcase and a wagon-ly conductor's jacket, and the button is missing.
哇，你怎么会有这件衣服？还是他同包厢室友的呢？105号房，然后同住的是这一位西德加利斯米特。这个我们要破解的吗？有吗？感觉到哪一个特别的？哦，这个。
It isn't booby-trapped, is it? Have you tried 0000? We really need to find the combination. If you need a break, I can ask Jean to make some coffee.
他讲话我就听不到啊。
You would have it by now. No, that's mine. I never remember my passwords, so I make them easy ones. No, that's mine.
你可不可以不要说话了？
Book. Silent like a mouse, please.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'll be quiet now. You need to concentrate. I will not utter another word. Not one.
Book. There will be another murder on the Orient Express in a moment.
你要杀扑克吗？好了，继续。要解到第3个。有了吗？有了。哦，这只猫玩偶。
The stuffed animal is the same as in the photo found at the crime scene.
What a coincidence.
Mademoiselle Locke appears to have been investigating Monsieur Ratchet.
你有他的资料、房间，然后他身边的人。
Mademoiselle Locke seems very interested in our victim.
Of course. She has studied her target.
Possibly. This badge says that Joanna Locke is an American detective with the Berkshire Police Department in Massachusetts.
An American police officer? Oh.
Her driver's license confirms her identity. She is American.
These are fake IDs. It's certain.
She has a gun.
Come, Poirot. Criminals are often known to carry one.
Ratchet was stabbed, not shot. But then why take it on the train?
Look, she's waking up.
Thanks to you, I would not be surprised if our murder victim were also waking up.
What?
Oh, my head. What's all the yelling about?
Who are you? Give me a good reason why you should not be in handcuffs.
I can give you a reason, Book. Whose handcuffs will we use? I have none. Do you?
Well,
You are Joanna Locke, mademoiselle?
Yes, Joanna Locke. I'm a detective.
Berkshire, Massachusetts Police.
I have found your credentials, mademoiselle.
And I know who you are, Mr. Poirot.
Then, if the introductions are complete, perhaps the explanations may begin.
I'll try. It's simple, really. I'm on the trail of a murderer.
I had just been promoted to detective after 5 years on patrol. It was my first time on a major case. It had been a month since Daisy Armstrong was kidnapped. The Armstrongs were desperate for some sign of hope. I was there only for paperwork, to fill in some blanks.
哦，换到另一个视角来了。地图
A topographical map, often more important than a road map in these mountains. 黛西·阿姆斯壮3岁的女孩，约翰和索尼娅·阿姆斯壮的女儿。受害者在19年2月24日被掳走。绑架案发生在他们的住所，当时正在举办招待会。黛西的保姆莫罗小姐在晚上10点45分发现孩子失踪。
The investigation is now part of a pile of investigations, and my captain sent me here just to dot some I's and cross some T's.
在孩子卧室的窗外发现一张梯子，它被用来把黛西从房子里移走。通常从里面所做的窗户，结果被发现是开着的。房子附近树林里发现4轮传动车的胎痕，派对中没有人驾驶这样的车子。
The crime was audacious. How could the kidnapper know which was the window of Daisy's room? No, they could use a ladder to reach it, and no, they could enter the room without being seen. The misspellings are clearly on purpose, and they didn't return the child when the ransom was paid.
执法协议就绪后，夫妻俩按照要求于19年3月1日支付了100万美元的赎金，至此没有再收到任何的消息，也没有归还黛西。姓名约翰，黛西的父亲嘛，美国军队退休上校，当时正在举办一场社交活动，要为当地图书馆筹募资金，来的很多，有些我们完全不认识，而且我们全都忙得不可开交。一个募款活动，听到黛西的保姆苏珊尖叫，晚上10点45或者10点50分，他和他老婆上楼到房间看，苏珊非常激动地哭着，枕头上留下一个勒索金的字条。
How could the child be taken with so many people in the house?
然后黛西的母亲索尼娅证词，最后看到黛西是在10点30分，他上楼到她的房间看她，那时候苏珊不在，黛西睡得很香，陪了她10分钟左右。
I can't imagine the pain her parents felt when they realized Daisy was gone. How are they going to feel when they realize I have no answers for them? Only more questions.
保姆啊
That's why I'm here.
电脑输
A damn
出
computer glitch. Or somebody pushed delete instead of save. Whatever happened, we lost the nanny's deposition. So my entire contribution to the investigation is to take it again.
啊，居然犯这种错，资料遗失了。通话记录
The phone record of the night of the kidnapping. The last call was for 911.
索尼娅致电给这支号码。约翰、苏珊，然后最后是报警。因为2700是他们住家的电话嘛。OK， 还有什么东西我要先看的吗？
有什么东西可以整理整理的？好，去听保姆的证词。玩多久了？1个多小时。还是我们就先到这边，毕竟这是试玩版吧。不过突然间换了一个场景哦，还以为会一直待在列车上面，我们居然还会跳到其他地方。要是刚才啊，我在白罗警探那边提早先设下谁是嫌疑人的话，那又会怎么样呢？啊，就还好，我有先去找 Book 谈话，然后衍生出这边这一段。好了，但是毕竟是东方快车谋杀案，而且威胁信里也已经很明白的告诉你了，凶手应该不止一人。所以我们不要太早下定论哦，就是尽可能的找出更多的线索，把凶手一次网罗出来。好吧，那我们觉得试玩就先到这边吧。